is Biomonkey's favorite top 5 episodes of Now Loading, and also my favorite weekly newscast. Start at number 5, which is episode 15. So we did a trap in the closet scene, which was really fun to do. Plus, this is one of the episodes where we had one of the few times where we had somebody join in on the voice acting, which happened to be my sister. She played the DS Lite. Also, I like running Death over with stuff. And number 4 is episode 29, which is called Wet Dream. The intro is hilarious, seeing as it's from Full Metal Jacket, and the fact that we were singing the Mickey Mouse song the entire week. And other than that, it's a pretty good episode. That's all I put for that one. My number 3 episode is episode 25, which is Backwards Incompatibility. Incompatibility. I can't even say that word. Backwards Incompatibility. Which offers different views on the backwards compatibility and how it flopped completely for Sony and Xbox, but they were true views. And the intro is also what I think of Death singing, which I do not like it at all. That's why I beat the living crap out of him in the intro. Number 2 is episode 28, which is when we joined SFX 360 on our own terms, not following somebody else. Our intro music rocks because it's created by Death and a program used by downloaded on indie games called I think it's Easy Muse Hamster Edition, which Death also talks to the guy that created it. I'm stuttering a lot, which I don't care. Also, Death has this bad habit of practicing games in Halo 3, which is kind of ridiculous. My number 1 episode is episode 13, which is again iterating on Death practicing for games in Halo 3, which never works, and he never plays the game that he practices for. And it has Mongoose Golf, which I created, and I end up killing Death, which I like to do. And it has the blue ball skit at the credits, which is hilarious. It turned out awesome. And it had the salty ball music by Chef. Also, my favorite weekly newscast episode is number 5, which kind of inspired me to do Machinima, because it's a homage to Red vs. Blue, the first episode, which drove me and Death to do Machinima. Plus the intro music and the video of us playing Halo is epic. Plus I like Blur in song 2. Also, bird is the word.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird's the word.
Hey, I am deathVANQUISHED, and these are my top 5 now loading episodes and the 1 weekly pit stop episode that I like the best. Number 5 is episode 31, Celebration of Destruction. I know, it is cheap to choose a clip show, but I really enjoy watching this video, and I think that it's a great culmination of all the episodes of Now Loading and the weekly pit stop / newscast. Number 4 is episode 28, SFX 360. Switching over to sfx360.com meant that we had to pull out a good show, which I think we did. Also, I like that we used old wrestling footage at the end. My brother is the one with the trash can on his head. Yeah. Number 3, episode 25, Backwards Incompatibility. I like the unbiased look at the backwards compatibility fight between Sony and Microsoft that they both failed on, and, the geek setting himself on fire is always good. Not to mention Biomonkey refusing to say welcome to this week's episode of Now Loading when he was at Downtown Disney. Number 2 is episode 15. At 472 views, this episode is the highest viewed episode of Now Loading. Also, in one skit, we touched on 3 different news stories at the same time. Fallout New Vegas, Chuck Green is the name of the main protagonist of Dead Rising 2, and Dead Rising 2 will have up to 6,000 different zombies. Now, my number 1 episode of Now Loading is episode 22, Patchodamus. From the spaced homage to the ending credits, I really enjoy this episode. This episode is also one of the most discussed episodes of Now Loading due to our harsh portrayal of the Left 4 Dead 2 protesters, not to mention the introductions of Patchodamus and the Geek. Now, my favorite weekly pit stop / newscast episode is episode 6, which kind of spawned the Unlawful and Disorderly series that I'm working on now. This is the first time that Button Hoppin and Pinkleton are ever seen. From the mispronunciation of Miami-Dade to the recreation of Detective Horatio's demise, this episode eventually led to what Now Loading is today. Also, this episode has the largest cast with notable cameos from Crash and Harvin.